Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Once again, not in the headquarters. We're like never in the headquarters anymore, you notice that?
Well, I'm in the headquarters all the time.
Oh. Yay, creep. Well, it's me, Justin, with Darrell. And we're here to talk to you guys today about what we like to call metal. And guess I'm going to open up my own with a band that I reviewed this past week called Viter. I don't know what it means. I didn't look it up.
I think you're bullshitting. I don't think that's what it's called.
They're from the Ukraine.
Oh.
If that makes it any different. Their album is called Springtime, and when I first saw the album cover, I think the album cover is really what got me to like just check it out because I was so curious because, well, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. I kind of thought it was going to be like a metalcore album.
Yeah. It's this picture of, I mean, I guess kind of like an angel type of lady, but she has blood all over her hands and a red cross covering her whole face, including her eyes, and she's wearing flowers on her head. So I checked it out, and first time I heard it, it was like, what is this crap? Second time I heard it, I was like, oh, this isn't bad. Third time I heard it, because I heard it for a third time.
You said, what is this crap?
I said, this crap is pretty cool. And the only thing that I think I was really turned off by at first was the vocals. Very medieval-like vocals.
Medieval-like what?
Clean vocals, and they just were, I don't know, I guess like folky.
Okay.
Folkish. But the instruments is what grabbed me. They have a couple songs on there that I would say you definitely have to hear. One of them was For the Fire was the title, and that was the first song that really grabbed me. There were like it was really epic, I guess. I know I hate to use the word epic because I use the word epic so often, but it was epic with strings, and they have, oh, that's what I want to tell you. The key thing with this band is that they have a guy that does bagpipes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that changes everything. Yeah.
That does change everything.
Bagpipes. And another chick that plays like this violin-looking type of instrument. So together, along with some keyboard synthesizers and strings, it was pretty amazing. It was beautiful music, definitely. And then I guess the vocals kind of just grew on to me because they weren't horrible. And then there was like one or two songs where he actually was like, he sounded really good. Like the rest was, I wouldn't even say it was like good singing, but you know, you kind of just get through it. But it was definitely the instruments that got me through it and the different types. And yeah, bagpipes, metal bagpipes. I think you'd like it, actually.
The bagpipes or the album?
The whole thing. Maybe not the first time or the second time, but by the third time.
But if I can get through it 3 times.
Yeah, that's just one of those bands that it needs to grow on you.
Well, just like that album by that band.
Yep. Just like that one.
Fables from a Mayfly. What I Tell You 3 Times Is True is the secondary title of the album.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. But what I do know is that you did a review for the band Katatonia.
I believe you mean Katatonia?
Yeah.
Yes, you know,
it's about time, right?
Yeah, I mentioned in the review that they make the period between albums seem like fucking forever. And from Great Cold Distance to Night is the New Day was only 3 years, but you know, they had writer's block in the middle and the album kept getting pushed back and it just felt like forever. Yeah. And this is only, you know, not quite 3 years from Night is the New Day till now, and still it feels like forever. Yeah. It feels like you haven't heard new Katatonia material in forever. Yeah. I think part of that is also because from Great Cold Distance they released 3 singles which had a bunch of B-sides, and they re-released the album 3 times, the tour edition or whatever. Yeah. But anyway, the new album is called Dead End Kings. Now let's get right into it and say that the album artwork is different. They strayed away from the black and red that they've used the last couple.
Yep.
It's very much black and white based with the bird on the cover vomiting smoke.
It reminds me of like Swallow the Sun.
Yes, right? Definitely. I really enjoy the album artwork. And this album is different. It's not. It's the next step in evolution, I guess, but it's a little bit different. There are noticeable changes. A little bit more emphasis on keyboards, piano type stuff, synthesizers in there, which show up in every Katatonia album. But this one, I feel like they're featured a lot of times.
Yeah, definitely.
And one of the biggest things to point out is the song, "The One You're Looking For Is Not Here." Is that the name of the song?
I didn't even read all the track listings, actually.
Yes, "The One You Are Looking For Is Not Here," which is a very long title, especially for Katatonia, but that features awesome female vocals by a woman with a beautiful voice, whose name Silje Wergeland. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Please don't hate us.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect duet with her and Jonas, and it's such a sullen song, and everything's down about it, but I'm just gonna, cut to the chase here. This album is awesome. The songs individually are fucking awesome. Every one of them.
Yep.
Even they have a song that starts out with this weird like jazzy piano, and he's crooning. He really is. Sounds like at the beginning to a Vegas show tune, and it's so weird to think that. The song's called Leech, by the way, but it's so weird to think about that. But then they turn it into a Katatonia song, and it's just something only they seem to be able to do.
Yeah.
But in listening to this album, I think you and I agreed that it's a perfect album except for one thing.
Oh yeah, that's
the
right.
order of the tracks.
Yeah.
Because they kind of took. It's a strong opening with the song "The Parting," very strong, and then things. Like the softer stuff is all right in the middle, and then the heaviest three songs are the last three.
Yeah,
and I don't hate the way it's set up, I guess, but if you took one of those songs and plopped it like track 5 and then one of them at 7,
yeah, I would say if I had the choice to like move them around a little, I think I would do that.
Yeah, the song "Dead Letters," which was the first single released off the album, and it's probably my favorite song on the album, or at least in my top 3.
Yeah, definitely.
That one is the last song on the album. And everyone, we've played this album 6,000 times for people already, and everyone says like it seems the album just ends so abruptly.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily agree, but I see what they're saying because there's no real outro.
I would put it in the middle.
Yeah.
I could have seen that being like track 2 or track 3 or something. I mean, not knowing what the first track.
Typically, track 4 on each album has been like one of the bigger punchy songs, like My Twin.
Yeah.
So I was a little surprised, but outside of the order of the tracks, I think the album is perfect.
Yeah,
and they're just evolving from. Viva Emptiness to Great Cold Distance to Night is the New Day to now, you can just see the little steps each time, and it's just a little bit more melodic. And as I pointed out, there are going to be people who are going to say, "Oh, fucking Katatonia, they fucking sold out, bro. They're not heavy anymore. It's all about singing and shit." Well,
then we knock them in the face.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. Is basically the comment I would make to that.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're off of that now. Definitely go check that out. The album comes out this coming Tuesday.
Yeah.
So feel free to go buy that at your local store.
The name of the album reminds me of My Dying Bride. Does that make sense?
It does. And actually, now that you mention it, I might as well say that the album name refers to the concept of the album, which is that the corridors of the human mind, the dark corridors where all of your fears are and everything. That's what the whole album is supposed to be exploring, the darkest parts of your mind, and how each one comes out to be a dead end, and you have to go back through. And
so I'm a king, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, you are a king. You are king of dead ends.
See, I knew it.
So now moving on to a different band, a band that you want to talk about. Now we're going to say the name of this band is Tacit Fury.
Yep.
Now I know they're Russian.
Yep, they're from Moscow.
And they look very young.
Not your scalp, but Moscow. Go
on. They look very young, and I knew you were going to review this album. We've mentioned this before. We don't know what the other one is going to review. This is all a surprise, but I knew you were going to review this album because when I saw it pop up, the artwork, it almost looks like the In Mourning album, and I went, "Oh, Justin's going to review this. Doesn't matter what it is. Justin's going to review
anything with like an ocean with a sea monster destroying a ship." With lightning in the background, some sort of storm, it's going down.
It's made for Justin.
Yeah, it's going down.
So tell us a little bit about Tacit Fury and their Russian death metal.
The album is called Horrors from Depth.
Now, is it Horrors from Depth or Horrors from the Depth? No, it's just Horrors from Depth.
Yep. They are
Interesting.
Russian.
They are Russian. Usually, that's...
Tell them to slow down, but...
Yeah.
So it only has a total of 6 tracks on it. And at first I thought it was an EP. And on a site that referred me to them, they listed it as an EP. But it's actually an album. It's their debut album.
Okay.
So the last track is a cover from Sepultura.
Oh, I hate that.
Which, I wasn't that crazy about. I didn't really... I kind of just, skipped over that. But that was the last one. So the first 5 is the actual album. And it goes quick. I mean, it was short. Each song was like 3.5 to 4 minutes.
Okay.
There was maybe the 5th one was maybe like a little over 5 minutes. But it's fine. It's basically just your average like death metal band.
So they're just average?
Yeah.
Nothing about them really stands out?
No, I can't even say anything really does. I suggested to give it a listen just because, I mean, it sounds good, but after a while you're just going to ask yourself, like, why don't I just go listen to, like, Cannibal Corpse? Right? So...
Okay. So, but I mean, is it that kind of style, like Cannibal Corpse, just not as good?
Yeah. There weren't even... Like, I thought maybe it would be, like, I don't know, some sort of doom involved or some sort of...
Well, because they're Russian?
Epic strings or something. No, because of the album cover. It wasn't gory, or anything like that. And I don't know. I mean, I didn't look up the lyrics. Maybe the lyrics have to do with some story that is really intriguing. But to me, it was fine. I listened to it a couple of times, and it's something cool for people who are looking for something new to just, blast in their cars.
So, blast it for a day and then move on. It's a good time killer until the next big thing comes.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a filler. It really is just a filler. That's the perfect way to put it. A time killer.
I see.
So, I mean, it wasn't bad. There's some cool solos. It kind of reminded me of Slayer, some of the guitar work. So, I'm sure they even might have, taken a riff or two.
They probably did.
But,
Well, I'm going to interrupt you. I don't want to talk about average things anymore.
All right.
I want to talk about Dammerfarben.
All right. I remember them.
Yeah. Now, they had an album.
Back in the day.
They had an album last year. It was actually one of the first albums I reviewed once we really got into things on the site.
Uh-huh.
That album was called Im Abendrat, which I'm sure I don't even say right.
Yeah.
The new album is called Herbstfad.
Bless you.
Yep. So they are German. However, they did just add 3 new members in the recording of this album who I believe are from Sweden. So now they're Germeden.
Yeah.
Or Swerman.
Yes.
But anyway, the last album was good. It had some production creaks in it.
Yeah, but it wasn't, I still listen to it regardless, I remember.
And it was, they're definitely a folky black metal band. But the thing is, they don't just do that. Whereas, we were talking before about black metal and how when you're a black metal band, this is what you do. You do this.
Right.
You do black metal. Done. I just did it.
Yeah. I don't
Unless
know.
You want
to talk to Varg about that? I don't think he does that exactly.
Funny story about Varg later. But anyway, Dammerfarben decides that they are not just going to do folky black metal. So basically every other track is amazing, soft, acoustic guitars, flutes, strings.
What?
So you get one song that's like this beautiful touch of string, and it's like you're walking through a
You sound very
forest.
gay right now.
I'm sorry. This is how the music makes me feel.
Wait, so is this like an older El Wadey album kind of? Because they did stuff like that kind of.
Nope. This makes El Wadey look like death metal at times.
Oh, okay. Oh.
I'm telling you, like, you get the song with the strings and flutes, and you're just like, oh, this is nice. And then the next song is like black metal screaming, machine gun drums, kicks all over the place, and you're just like, oh yeah, it's black metal. And the next song is like, oh man, that was nice. I'm just gonna lounge out in my hammock in the yard and sip some lemonade. Oh my god, black metal again!
Oh, so it's like you're walking in the woods and it's nice out.
And then the wolves attack you.
Wolves, or I was going to say an army of Jew robots.
Yeah, of course.
Then you flame on.
And, yeah. But it's just amazing because they can do both. And, the whole thing is that a lot of bands can do one thing really well. And if they can do that, good for them. Dammerfarben does 2 things exceptionally well. They make amazing black metal with crystal clear production. The vocals are great. The drums, the guitars, everything. Even the guitars, even in the black metal parts, still have this weird melody to it. You know, I guess it's that folk inspiration in there.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. But the soft songs, and the last song on the album has a female voice. Her name is Emma Bjorling. I did say that one right. And she doesn't, when I saw she was listed as doing vocals, I was waiting the whole album to hear these female vocals. And they're like non-existent until the last track. And the last track is like this folk lullaby. It's just amazing. It's like how you were saying about the last El Wady album, how they brought in a lot more female vocals.
Oh, yeah.
This is like a folk song. It's amazing. It's amazing. I cannot say enough about this album and this band and what they're doing. And their last album came out 15 months ago, so not even 2 years ago. Now, when you think how long it takes to write an album and everything in between, they must have jumped right into this. The production is perfect. Everything is perfect. I only wish it was longer. It's only like 29 minutes.
Oh, really?
And it's an album. It's a full album, but it's only 29 minutes. Because the folky interludes are only 2 minutes each. Yeah. The regular songs are 4 or 5. But
right. Some of them are just instrumentals.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Most of the interludes are instrumentals, with the exception of the last one, which has her voice in it. But it's amazing. Definitely check it out. Dammerfarben, Herbstvat.
I see they have a track called "Beauty Over Beast."
I might have said it was more.
Oh, you said it. I just saw quotes and I was like, yeah, you know what? He didn't.
I was gonna say all the titles are in German.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, why was it English?
Yeah, it goes from let's see, Zu Nachtlinder's to Und Winders Kalt Keret Ein, and then Beauty Over Beast.
Yeah.
But anyway,